Hello, hello, welcome. This is Elemental Idea, and today is gonna be a rant. Not a rant, a celebration. Opinion, ideas. Right. So, Star Wars, specifically Disney Star Wars. Disney Star Wars have a problem, a huge problem that I've been telling for the longest. And this problem is, before talking about the problem, let's say this. Recently, George Lucas had an interview where he was talking about his life achievement and Star Wars and Disney. And it's pretty interesting what he have to say. Many times he has said that what is happening right now with Star Wars is not what he was planning. But in this interview, he said a couple stuff that I always suspected, but now I'm sure that I'm correct. I am correct. Well, my fellow YouTubers and me are correct because many people had said the same about this. And what is this? Right. At the beginning, I said, or now the Acolyte is coming. I said that the problem with Disney Star Wars is that they do not understand the Force, and they believe it's magic, and they trying to change it to be magic. That's the big change they're talking about. That's what they're talking about so loudly about. Oh, we're gonna make changes to the Force, to the core of the Force. It's because they don't understand it. So they have to try to make it something they can relate, and it's easier because magic is easier, right? Especially because they don't like rules, so they just wanna say, "Oh, it's because of the Force," and that's it. All right, but let's hear George Lucas a little bit, and this specific part because it gives me so much pleasure. All right, so
Do it. The Force. Nobody understood the Force. Nobody, what they do is, and then they started other ones when I sold the company, and they, a lot of those ideas that were in there sort of got lost. But that's the way it is.
they fundamentally do not understand the Force. They don't know what it is, and this is why they fail so much. Well, there is a bunch of stuff, and I'm gonna tell it right now, all that I think about it. Why? Because this is my YouTube channel. Yeah. By the way, if you like this kind of content, give me a like, maybe a recommendation in the comments, subscribe. That really help. All right. So, since Disney took over Star Wars, they've been trying to do movies and shows, and that's okay. If you notice, the ones that people kind of like are the ones that have no Jedi's in it. Like Rogue One, people kind of like that. I will say Solo is not bad either. It's just meh, right? Andor is another one people like a lot, including me. The rest, every time they have a Jedi, Darth Vader, Obi-Wan Kenobi, even Ahsoka, they don't know how to treat these characters because they don't understand that the Force is more like the Chi from Kung Fu. Right? It's more like an energy that will give you some abilities and it will guide your path. It's not magic, and that confuses them. So we can see Star Wars Disney as seeds, specifically witches. They want to be the witches. They are the witches. They want the Force to do weird stuff, and it's exactly what I don't like. Witches in Star Wars, and I know the Clone Wars introduced these witches. I always hated it because there is a leeway with the Force, so weird with them, and it's kind of what the Siths do. They destroy the Force, they manipulate the Force, And that's what a lot of people don't like about it, right? But like you just hear it, he says he's the only one who knows how this world works, and he's the only one who knows how the Force actually works. By the way, if you believe in Grey Jedi's, you do not understand the Force either. And let me tell you why. And I know a lot of people have talked about this, but the Force is balance, all right? And what the dark side do is break this balance. That's why Grey Jedi's do not work in Star Wars, because you cannot be in one side and in the other one, right? Because when you are in the light side, what it means is you are in balance with you and with nature and with the universe. When you are in the dark side, it means you are unbalanced, and you are unbalancing every single stuff around you, and you're using the energy of the universe just to benefit you. That's why when people actually talk about Grey Jedi's and they try to say, like, example, one of my favorite Jedis, Qui-Gon, was a Grey Jedi. He was not. He was truly a Jedi, probably a Jedi, more or less. He believes balance is what is important. He don't believe of power, and that's pretty cool. And that's what Luke Skywalker in the original movies is. That's why so many people like him. But yeah, that's why Star Wars, the 6 episodes, is Star Wars. And Disney Star Wars is just Disney Star Wars. That's why it doesn't work. Right? It doesn't work because they try to force something in what it is not. They try to make it something that it is not. Right? Star Wars is not about space and battles. There is a part of it. Star Wars is a fantasy, an opera in space. And that's what is important, what characters do. And that's why the original trilogy is centers around Luke Skywalker and his family, basically. It's because what characters do is what is important in Star Wars. And that have lasting consequences on the galaxy. But Disney is hellbent in changing it just to make it easy. And that's why they fail. And they will continue to fail. And the Acolyte will fail. I already saw all the trailers and all the spotlights. This show have no clue, and it will have cool stuff. Some battles will be nice, but that will be it. Right? At the core, it will be rotten and it won't work. And yeah, that's and I just made this video because I saw George Lucas talking about it, and it's what I've been saying to everybody. So I said, like, yeah, let's talk about this too.
So I said, all I wanted to do was tell a story of what happened. You know, it started here and it went there. And it's all about generations, and it's about, you know, the issues of fathers and sons and grandfathers, and it's a family soap opera. I mean, ultimately, we call it space opera, but people don't realize it's actually a soap opera. And it's all about family problems and that. It's not about spaceships. And these are my kids. So
all those Star Wars films.
All the Star Wars films.
They were your kids.
Yeah, well, they are. You know, I loved them. I created them. I'm very intimately involved in them, and obviously to
and
sell
you
them
sold
off,
them.
I sold them to the white slavers that take these things and.
Okay, but
So if you enjoy this, like, subscribe. This was Elemental Idea. Bye.